So I've been a little strapped for cash lately, so I'm thinking about going after the humanoid typhoon. $60 billion double dollars will take care of a lot of my problems.
Mitchell, that's a fictional character, though.
Now, the thing is, I'm not going to go out with any crazy schemes like gun arms. I'm just going to use a regular gun.
You know there's no actual money, right?
It's a little bit... I know it's risky, Ryan, but come on. If you help me, I'll split it with you.
Oh, Mitchell. Welcome to Final Form!
I'm Mitchell.
And I'm Ryan. And we're actually doing an anime we both really like today.
I know! Although I had to come down for the high of not getting that prize money.
Yeah. Came down to earth there, did you, bud?
Yeah.
So, it's been a while.
Really? I haven't noticed.
Yeah. Been a hot minute. Head colds. Yep. And other various sicknesses kind of got in the way a little bit. So we're going to do 2 episodes today, back to back. You might see 2 various episodes in your feed. We're going to just record them.
It's not a trick of your mind. You've not gone crazy from missing us so much.
Nope.
They're real.
Yep. This is not like the X-Files. You did not lose time. So we're doing Trigun.
I love this one.
Yeah, me too.
It's definitely in my top 20 animes.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen like 30 anime, but yeah, top 20 for sure.
Yeah. And it's one of the first mature anime I saw that actually was not disgusting mature, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is an adult story without adult parts to it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's the adult side is more in terms of the stakes
and the tone, and the philosophies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it still holds up pretty well to this day, in my opinion. Like, there are parts of it that have aged, but everything ages.
Yeah. So when did you first watch Trigun?
I actually cannot give you a date, but it is when I first started being able to use the computer unsupervised, truly. Okay. Because I had to watch this on really old streaming sites.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even remember their names.
Gotcha. This was one of the first anime I really watched. I mean, I've only been into anime for a couple of years now, but Cowboy Bebop being the one that really brought me in. Mm-hmm. And I chatted with a friend of mine. This was actually just shortly after Jedi Drop It started. And I was chatting with a friend, telling him about how I wanted to watch more anime. And when I mentioned Cowboy Bebop, he said, "Oh, you should watch Trigun." And I don't think it's the first time I've heard those two kind of tossed in the same category.
No. As someone who's not watched Bebop, it tends to get tied to it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, some like to say Bebop is more... It's a much better story, but this one is a really good to watch right after it or to supplement with it.
Yeah.
And they're both from the same era, so they do have that same coloration to them. Like, this is the era of when I felt anime colors were at their best. They're vibrantly dull, I like to call it.
Yeah. To bring it back to the Full Metal Alchemist episode, it's got that kind of look. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I gotta admit, when I first watched Trigun, when I was, say, maybe 3-4 episodes in, I didn't like it.
No.
Did not like it at all. And that's, I think, me being not used to anime and being really thrown off by how it would go back and forth, like, between this super happy, almost like very over-the-top cartoonish vibe to just grim... I don't know, like the deep philosophical side of it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't grasp it.
Vash is the biggest embodiment of the trope, crouching moron, hidden badass.
Yes.
And that dichotomy of how the show handles it, the show itself is a crouching moron, hidden badass with its really silly, goofy, almost Looney Tunes-esque actions, and then wham! Here's this actual impactful thing that happens.
But But when they get deeper into it, I feel like he is one of the more justified of that trope. In that he's wearing a mask. He's very much wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Not only to try and maintain his own happiness, but he puts on a strong face for everybody else.
Yeah. Anyone who becomes a friend of him, he immediately doesn't want them to get sucked into his darkness. So here's the Goofy Vash, make you happy, make you happy, make you happy.
Which is this great layer to that show.
I know. Which apparently my Happy Vash dance made a dog interested.
Yeah. Let's try and get her calmed down.
Yeah.
Again, this is becoming a regular part of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So I will admit I didn't really get to watch very much Trigun leading into the preparation of this show because I got sucked into Steven Universe. That's a whole rabbit hole.
But it's not too inaccurate for, they're very different, but they do have some similar things to them. With a goofball main character who has his serious moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although I would not say Steven is a crouching badass.
No, but
he has the potential to be one.
Yeah. You know what? We're going to get into that a little more on a later recording.
Yeah. Yes, we are. But we should probably go over what this world is in Trigun. The actual planet is called Gunsmoke.
Yes.
That is, the most Western name. This is basically sci-fi Western.
Yeah, which I think is why Cowboy Bebop gets tossed in there.
Yeah, because that's... Yeah. This is more Western, Bebop's more sci-fi.
Yeah, yeah.
But they both have the elements where the other part just takes over for a little while, from what I understand. Again, having not watched Bebop, but having seen enough of it and heard enough of it from people.
Yeah.
And I guess you could describe Bebop and Trigun as, different sides of the same coin.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which means when I finally get to watch Cowboy Bebop, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Not to
praise it.
No,
too much.
I will always praise Cowboy Bebop. Not to pinpoint the biggest correlation I see in your anime, but Spike Siegel is an intelligent protagonist.
Good enough for me.
Yep.
And that's another thing about Vash, is that people tend to forget how smart he is in places.
Oh, yeah.
How much... The thing is, a lot of his fights are won by him doing math in his head, without telling you how much math he's done.
Yeah, pretty much.
There are several times where he's being shot at by, 5 or 6 people with automatic weapons, and then he's when they're done shooting, he realizes, that guy's out of ammo, that guy's out of ammo, that guy's out of ammo. That guy has 5 rounds left, so if I take his gun, he can't... No, they have no ammo left.
Yeah.
And they're like, how the hell do you... But Vash is so believable in how he does that.
Yeah.
And Vash is one of the few characters I feel really works as a pacifist. His big thing is he wants everyone to walk away from any kerfuffle.
Yeah.
And he is... Even if you are a stone-cold killer, he'll still take a bullet for you.
Yeah.
Because no one... His philosophy is no one has the right to take another life.
Yeah. Which is, it adds an interesting aspect to the show.
Yeah. It does paint Vash as truly childish and naive in places. But for good reasons.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pacifists in media that you're just kind of looking at them no. Or you've already broke that rule. Or, they're basically hypocritical in places or nonsensically. But Vash is so... for lack of word, stuck to his guns of pacifism, everyone lives, everyone walks away.
Yeah.
That it really works. And every time tragedy happens around him, the world blames him, and Vash is not arguing that. He's no, it was my fault all this happened, despite the fact most problems in Vash's life are from people chasing him.
Yeah.
If they left him alone, there'd be more cities standing.
Yeah, it's true.
But the thing is, because he has such a big bounty on his head, there's a lot of good reasons to chase after him.
Yeah.
There's one episode where a town has no money, they're falling apart, they've got no means to survive, none of them can move away because they're on a desert planet. It's expensive to leave without with supplies, and they can't leave without supplies.
Yeah.
So the whole town tries to catch them together, just so they can buy the means to fix their town and save themselves.
Yeah.
And half the town wrecks itself for doing it.
Yep.
But they're like in for a penny, in for a pound. They've got no choice but to.
That's a great episode.
It is. It's one of my favorite ones. Because it's the one where you finally figure out, really, Vash's true self. Like, this is the one that paints Vash like he wants people to be happy, but he still has some self-preservation.
Yeah. You kind of get that the darkness that's going on inside his head behind the face he puts up.
Yeah. It's so well done. It doesn't beat you over the head with it.
No, not at all.
And it's just also one of the funnier episodes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because the whole town's in a racket, and some of the side characters are trying to calm them down because they've realized, this is the pattern that's going to keep repeating.
Yeah, exactly.
So one of them takes out a megaphone and is yelling at the crowd, and they don't even hear her.
No.
She even used the megaphone on the mayor right to his face, and his reaction is, no, we still have to do this. But the thing is, what I like about that is, technically, no one really is stupid in that scene. Like, everyone has a logical reason for acting a little bit on the crazy side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vash's reason is to keep people safe and to keep himself alive.
Yeah.
The insurance girls are trying to keep people alive and not have to pay out massive insurance money. Yeah. The townsfolk and the mayor are, our town is falling apart. This is all we got.
Yeah.
And when the mayor calls in some wanted criminals because basically he thinks the lesser of two evils will solve things, it kind of makes sense, but you immediately get to watch this mayor crumble because he's like, I've made the worst mistake. Why did I do this?
Yeah.
But you know why he did this.
Yeah.
They need the money.
I just realized that Trigun did a better version of Suicide Squad than Warner Bros.
See, I honestly think Trigun could kind of work as a Western movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
The only character you would need for a Trigun episode really is Vash.
Yeah.
Because you can do episodes without his friends. Not as good.
Yeah.
But you could.
Yep.
And it would kind of be a slapstick action comedy.
Yeah.
All I can say is Jackie Chan needs to direct, like, the action.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. So, to spin it from the more serious side to the more fun side, I should note that you got a package of donuts here for recording. Yeah,
Vash's favorite food is donuts, and the insurance girls always try to bribe people with donuts to say, "Oh, hey, here are some donuts from the insurance company, so you'll listen to our pitch or calm the hell down." And I couldn't help myself after watching, Vash mumble at donuts, eating donuts. I'm like, I want some donuts now.
Yeah, I know. Right?
I'm a sucker for like that.
Yeah, that happens to me.
Like, if I see a character eating a pizza, I'm like, all right, now I want to... And especially they start describing the pizza. I'm like, you're evil. You're so evil.
It happened to me recently with a food, and I don't remember what it was offhand.
Well, the last one besides me for donuts was pizza. I was watching something, and they're, like, eating one of those long, stretchy cheese pizzas, and you're just like...
Man, I just realized another similarity. Steven Universe, he loves donuts.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, literally, like, goes to a donut shop in almost every episode.
Yeah. One of his friends.
Yeah.
Works at the donut shop.
Anyway.
I guess we should probably talk about the other characters.
Yes, we should.
And what I like about these characters is every single one of them that ends up following Vash has, like, a nickname to them.
Yeah.
Like, Meryl the Derringer, because she's got 50 Derringer guns hidden in her cape. Which... That's a stupid idea. No, it is not. She is an amazing trick shot. Like, almost as good as Vash.
Yep.
There's Millie the Stun Gun, who carries a Gatling gun stun gun, which fires these giant cross things that just knock you on your ass.
Yep.
They're not lethal. They'll stun you because you'll be unconscious, or at least have the wind knocked out of you.
Yep.
And then there's the most famous character besides Vash.
I don't know the Trigun fandom very well. He's the fan favorite, right?
Yes.
It's got to be. As soon as you see this character, as soon as you are introduced, you're like, yeah. Okay.
Nicholas D. Wolfwood.
Oh, yeah.
The priest who carries all that mercy on his back. I love that. He's got this giant metal cross. Like, not like an X cross. I mean, like an actual Jesus of Nazareth cross. Because he's a man of the cloth.
Yeah.
Who carries this mercy with him everywhere he goes. Yeah. It's full of handguns, it's a machine gun on one side, and a rocket launcher.
Yep.
Because he brings the Wild West kind of mercy.
Yeah.
And he brings it so well. And he is a foil to Vash.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
He's very much by the, if you kill someone, they can't kill anyone else.
Yeah.
Especially if this person is a non-repentant killer. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with trying to save the innocent.
Yeah.
He's all for that.
Yeah.
But when a crazed gunman is chasing you down and killing everyone along the way just to get to you, no, Wolfwood wants to shoot them.
Yeah.
And you end up finding yourself, at times, agreeing with Vash and agreeing with Wolfwood.
Yeah, and see, that's something that I really like in a good TV show, movie, whatever, anything, is if you can get two characters who are complete opposites, who rarely agree, but you find yourself kind of siding with both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works so well, and they nail it here.
Yeah. Now, one thing I don't really get is one of the most infamous fandom gay pairings is Vash and Wolfwood. They have no chemistry, in my opinion. They come across more like brothers, like that really don't like each other, but will still save each other's butt because that's what brothers do. They became basically brothers in arms.
I'm pretty sure every character in every form of media has at some point been shipped with every other character.
But this one is like word of law. There's so much evidence. I'm like, I've watched the entire thing, and I don't see any of it.
Yeah.
The closest they get is they'll joke with each other.
Yeah.
Because despite the fact that they have very different views of the world, their personalities are kind of quite similar.
Yeah. Opposites attract.
Yeah, I guess.
Kind
Maybe.
of,
I don't know. But the thing is, Wolfwood in the show has way more chemistry with Millie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Meryl, of course, has a massive crush on Vash, and Vash is trying to... One of the things about Vash, he plays the ladies' man because he realizes ladies don't like those creepy ladies' men.
Yeah.
So it prevents him from getting women to follow him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he doesn't want them caught up in his whirlwind.
Yeah.
And what happens when they get caught up in his whirlwind?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
But Meryl still follows. Because it's her job to, not because she likes this Vash guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If you don't have time to watch the whole series, I do recommend the movie. It's basically just a longer episode, and it's really well done. And it has its own different kind of philosophy to it. Where the movie talks about when you save someone, you're casting a die. And you've rolled that die, and what the outcome is, that's your fault. Because Vash saves a bank robber and killer.
Yeah.
And he comes back 20 years later. Mm-hmm. Everything that happens, is this Vash's fault? You could say yes, you could say no. Vash just didn't want anyone to die. Is it his fault that this guy went on to do more crimes? Logically, yes. Emotionally, no.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree that it is Vash's fault. Because if you're saying that it's Vash's fault, then you're kind of erasing the idea that this killer ever had any free will.
Point taken.
I mean, logically, the killer could have been saved and said, I gotta change my ways.
Yeah, and that does happen in the series.
Yeah.
Vash's interactions change people for the better.
Exactly.
But not always.
Yeah.
So, can Vash take credit for the good deeds these people do? If he can take credit for the bad deeds, then he has to take credit for the good deeds.
I mean, there's the opposite side of it, too. If he makes the decision to end a life, not knowing the full outcome...
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? That life could have saved other lives.
Or it could lead to someone being scarred by that death and swearing vengeance on the world.
Exactly.
You don't know, and that's why Vash's ideal of saving everybody is the easier answer, but the way harder to execute.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the main villain of the series likes to point that out to Vash.
Yeah.
I'll just say it, his brother Knives, who... Yeah, he's pretty much anti-Vash.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of, the evil twin thing.
Yeah.
It's overdone, but Knives is such an interesting character who legitimately loves his brother. Like, they should really hate each other. They love each other.
Yeah.
They just think the other one is just delusional and crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like brothers are just trying to, save each other, help each other. Only Knives is, he likes to twist the knife when he jabs it into somebody to save them.
Yeah.
And he is such a good villain.
Oh, yeah.
A great behind-the-scenes villain. There's lesser villains that work for him that are more of a spotlight, and they're very good, too.
Yeah.
And I love almost every second of the show. Like, it's really good. Just everything on my list above it is just slightly better at doing what it does.
Yeah. Now, that's one way in which Trigun and Cowboy Bebop are very similar. Their execution of their villains.
Yeah.
Not in terms of what the villain is, what they represent, or even how they're portrayed.
Yeah.
But the way, like, and I'm pretty sure the same episode count, 26 episodes for both series, right?
About that, yeah.
So, roughly around there.
4 DVDs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Trigun, just like Cowboy Bebop, waits till almost halfway through the series before really introducing the villain. And then slowly building up to more and more features of that villain. And, like, it's almost exact. Like, it's a great use of pacing, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you spend the first half of the show getting to know these characters. Yeah. Getting to like them. So if you're halfway through and you're just enjoying the leads, when something comes to really threaten them, if you're slightly invested, you're probably fully invested by that point.
Yeah.
Rather than most shows that just show off the villain first sometimes. You're like, unless that villain is Doctor Doom charismatic, it's really hard to do that.
Yeah, it is.
Unless that villain has a lot of growth too, which is another thing anime does very well compared to other shows.
Yeah. Now, one thing I remember specifically about watching this show, as much as I said, when I first watched it, I couldn't get the hang of the
back and forthness.
Yeah, the sort of dichotomy of the light and the dark in the early episodes, which I did end up enjoying, but my just first watch sort of thing.
Retrospect can do that to you. Yeah.
But once I got to the end of the show, like the last, I don't know, half dozen episodes, something like that, I remember every time I watched it, I was just kind of like, I want the old stuff again, because this is dark. Where's the lightness?
You're basically, you feel so sorry for Vash.
Yeah, it just, like, the show gets increasingly more dark.
And just keeps kicking him.
Yeah, and the last string of episodes, there's just no room to breathe.
No.
Like, it's not that I'm not complaining. It's not that it's bad.
No, when they finally end the show, you take this great big gasp of air.
Yeah.
And it's such a good gasp.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a flawed ending on purpose.
Yes.
That ending is not going to work out for Vash.
No, of course.
But it's the Vash's answer he could come up with.
Yeah, exactly.
And that means Vash is kind of back.
Yeah.
He comes back with a smile on his face.
Yep.
And it's a genuine smile. One of my favorite lines from Wolfwood is he looks at Vash after Vash has helped a kid and says, "There's a real smile." Because Wolfwood could tell all the smiles before then were fake. Mm-hmm. And they do draw it differently. They draw Vash's true smile to be... You look at his usual smile and go, it's a goofball. But his real smile? It warms your heart.
Yeah.
It legitimately... Like, it's just this one panel of him with the biggest smile on his face. But it's not even a goofy smile. It's just... Here's a little kid, safe and sound in his mom's arms. In her... I think it's a girl's... Anyway, the kid is safe in their mom's arms.
Yeah.
And that's all Vash wants.
Yeah.
Everyone's safe with their family.
Yep.
And to truly be a part of restoring that, I don't care who you are, you're going to have that big of a smile.
Yep. And here's a question for you. Why do you think it is this show didn't take off as much in Japan?
I haven't the foggiest, actually, but I understand why it took off so well here.
Yeah.
Because it definitely feels like a weird 80s sci-fi. And Westerns, in general, do better in the West.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think it's just that right mix of this creator had these ideas and they didn't work home, but they blew up elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you would feel about that. Like you made it for your home market and it didn't do well, but everyone else loves it. Do you take pride in that?
I never thought about the Western angle. Yeah, I think you might be onto something there.
Because I don't think of many animes or mangas in general with a Western vibe to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean the There is a similarity in ways to the Western genre and the samurai genre.
There is,
and that is the closest I'm seeing. Like, there's like some of these great samurai anime.
Yeah,
have semi-Western vibes, but it's not the same thing. It's not.
They
not
even kind of point that out. There's a samurai who tries to kill Vash.
Yeah,
and even the samurai has to use a gun at one point.
Yeah.
Both his sword can fire off from his handle, and his sheath has a rifle in it. I'm like, That's another thing I think really took off in the West, is the designs of a lot of these guns and the details to it is a very much more south of our border would kind of enjoy that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the random technology, but every now and then I'm just like, why would you design a gun like that? Like, I think there's a trumpet gun.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
It's pretty ridiculous.
What? Why? What?
Yeah.
What? Say what? But then there are really cool things like giant cyborgs with rocket-powered arms with, like, cables to pull the arm back. Like, oh, okay, that solves the rocket arm never coming back problem. But then there are goofy things, like the first episode, the giant boomerang.
Yeah, yeah. This show's got some interesting designs.
It's got some interesting designs. But the main thing that really sticks with me out of all of that, though, is the original voice cast is so good. This is the first time I ever heard Johnny Young Bosch not in a Power Ranger suit.
I think me too, actually. Even though it was only a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he nails Vash. So Vash is still one of his favorite characters.
Yeah.
He almost always wants to have stories about Vash. He loves to see Vash cosplays.
Yep.
And whenever he does like a poster of himself, Vash is somewhere on that poster unless someone else made that poster.
Oh, yeah?
It's the quickest way of telling, did he make the poster?
Yeah.
Like, or did his manager make the poster? Or did the studio make the poster? Or did the convention make the poster?
Yeah.
So if there's a little Vash somewhere or a big Vash, it's either him or his manager.
Yeah.
And that's must be great to have a character you can come back to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he did come back from the movie. Like, he basically would have begged if they didn't want him to come back. Most of the cast did not return for the movie. For various reasons. I think some had retired. Yeah. Others had obligations and just... But he would have, like, stopped everything to be Vash, from what I understand.
Side tangent. I don't know why this just popped in my head. And this is completely not anime related.
No.
Did you hear about the controversy recently with the new Scooby-Doo?
No, I have not.
So, they're doing a new Scooby-Doo cartoon movie.
Yeah.
And they recasted Shaggy. They're not getting Matthew Lillard.
Okay.
And Matthew Lillard didn't find out he had been recasted until they released the cast list.
Wow.
Yeah, he got a link to the new cast release of a Scooby-Doo movie, and that's how he found out they were doing one without him.
Ow,
that's fucking awful.
That must be like being dumped by your significant other, just changing their Facebook status.
Yeah, because Matthew Lillard, I mean, he did the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, which
was the only good part of that movie, if you ask me.
You know what? I've rewatched it last year. That movie is way better than I remembered.
Okay, I have.
Like, I remember my memory of that movie is like, oh god, that movie.
My memory of that movie was just meh. I like the Shaggy though.
I've rewatched it and it was so much fun.
Well, I'll take your word for it. But since he's done that, he has been
the voice of Shaggy in basically every iteration since,
and he has been amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, he does a great impression of the original Shaggy. Casey Kasem, was it?
Casey Kasem, I think was he Shaggy? I thought he was Scooby. No, Scooby was Frank Welker.
Yeah. Who I think is still doing Scooby.
Yeah.
That man will die doing either Megatron or Scooby.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think you might be on something with Casey Kasem there, but
I know Casey Kasem was Robin for a while, and he was many Transformers.
Yeah.
Yes, he was, because for a while Shaggy was a vegetarian because Casey Kasem was a vegetarian.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Some Scooby-Doo facts and Casey Kasem facts in an episode of a Trigun.
Yep. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't often take a stance against, like, you know, the politics of movies or TV shows. And not that I was particularly excited for the new animated Scooby-Doo cartoon, but I'll fucking boycott it, man.
I mean...
over this?
If they had told him they were recasting before that, I would be like, okay, don't boycott, but that's a jerk move.
Yeah.
Jerk move.
Yeah, exactly.
Have the balls to say, hey, we're replacing you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't, like, smoke signal it to them. But yeah, the rest of the cast of Trigun,
Yeah.
in the original dub, I love Wolfwood's original voice actor. He just has that... I can't remember his name off the top of my head now, but he just has this great delivery for all of Wolfwood's lines. This kind of, I don't give two shits, but I give all the shits kind of delivery.
Yep.
Like, he is the reverse of Vash. Vash tries to always give all of his energy at once. Wolfwood's like trying to be reserved, but goddamn does he care.
Yeah.
Goddamn does he love the world, even though he keeps pointing out how shitty that world is.
Yeah.
And the girls, Meryl and Millie, they just bounce out of here so well.
Yeah. Great chemistry between those two.
Yeah, and because a lot of their scenes are just the two of them, they needed good chemistry. And oh my god, did they get good chemistry. The girls to replace in the movie, not as good.
Yeah.
But, like, A-. And that's probably just because my nostalgia is overriding. But
it's hard to get
But
past
my nostalgia is
sometimes.
not enough to say, oh no, these two girls are terrible. No, these ones are great.
Yeah.
The Wolfwood in the movie, he has some good lines and bad lines.
Okay.
He doesn't seem as good, but he's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
But there could have been a better choice. But that's just me.
Yep. So, I've got one more thing with Trigun before we move on.
Yeah.
And I think it's the most important, and maybe my favorite part of Trigun.
Okay.
That opening.
You want to know what that opening is called?
Sure.
HT.
HT.
Humanoid Typhoon.
Ah, there you go.
What I love, though, is that ending song. It's not as good as the opening song. But that ending song is such a good... And like both the soundtrack in general.
Yes.
They don't have a very wide soundtrack for the show.
No.
But they know when and where to use certain songs. And that opening always gets you pumped.
It does.
And then it usually smash cuts the goofiness.
Yeah. When I first watched it, I kind of scoffed at the opening. I was like, fucking, it's like
dramatic scenes.
No, not even the animation. The music itself, because it's very
simplistic.
It's this. It's not metal guitar exactly. It's more of like a hard rock. It's very
hard rock.
It's like Pantera-esque. It sounds like Dimebag Darrell playing guitar a little bit. And like, I'm not the biggest fan of that kind of music.
I enjoy it myself a lot.
I can respect it, but I don't really choose to listen to it.
Yeah.
And when I first heard it, I was like, okay, whatever, sure, yeah, this is a real rock and roll. And by like episode 3, I was like hand drumming along.
Yeah, because that little drum sound of the song is so good.
Yeah, because there's a lot of weird like offbeats, and like it sounds really straightforward. Yeah, but
like I said, that's why I describe it as simplistic.
Yeah, it's simplistic, but like
elegant.
It's not as simplistic as it could be.
No.
Like, if you took that main guitar riff and put it in the hands of lesser musicians, it would be much simpler. But, like, the choices they make in the breakdown and certain parts are... I think it's one of the best anime openings I've ever heard. Yeah. I think it is really,
It's definitely the best anime opening with no lyrics to it. Yeah. I will put my fist down on that. Like, that is a true statement. And if there is a better one, have at me. I want to hear it.
Does Cowboy Bebop count? Because they say a couple things.
I consider the voice more of a vocal instrument.
Yeah,
not
they don't sing in.
Yeah, there's a vocal instrument. So I've heard Bebop's opening. Yeah. It's good, but it ain't as good as Trigun's.
Oh no! See, Cowboy Bebop for me, that opening I think is the single greatest opening to any TV show in the history of television.
Oh, wow!
I will stand by that, and I mean that in terms of the music and the visual. It is perfectly paired.
When we get to the Bebop episode, I'll have my arguments for that. But I'm glad that passion. There's two things I want to talk about left now. The first one I want to talk about is at the end of every episode, that like poem or soothsaying Vash gives or description. The next episode, he gives a preview, but he doesn't like spell it out for you. He just kind of philosophically discusses what's going on. Like, is the man guilty for the gun he makes? Stuff like only way better. And Johnny's delivery for those scenes are just so soothing, even when he's talking about such disgusting death or pain and suffering. It comes across as a great philosopher. Yeah. Describing it to you. Yeah. And the last is, there is no cat in every episode. I don't know what anyone's talking about.
Nope, no idea. What cat?
But overall, Trigun is one of those shows where I'm like, if you want an example of a story that'll take you seriously, but not itself seriously.
Yeah,
it's a great play, and it's one of my favorite places to recommend people who want I want a show that's for adults.
Yeah,
here's Trigun. Yeah, and they always come back and ask me, why is it called Trigun? I'm like, it's because he carries 3 guns at all times.
Yeah, his
handgun, his hidden gun, and his other hidden gun. When you find out the 3rd hidden gun,
would you say Trigun is a must watch for anime fans?
It's a must watch if you really enjoy more mature things. Like if you just want goofy fun or energetic, upbeat stories, no. But the general audience, I think most people would enjoy this.
Yeah, I think so too.
I especially think if you're I know some people who only like westerns.
Yeah,
give this a try.
Yeah, for sure.
You may not like it, but it will broaden your horizons.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know people who only like sci-fi. They'll also enjoy this, and it will broaden their horizons.
Yep.
And it also points out how similar science fiction can be to old westerns.
Oh yeah.
Not just in the way George Lucas did that.
Yeah.
But no,
when those things are combined well, I mean,
they do really go well together.
I mean, come on, I'm the one here rooting for Cowboy Bebop and Firefly. You know, it's way up my alley, right?
But sci-fi and western sound so far apart.
Yeah.
But they're like peanut butter and jam.
Yeah.
They really do belong with each other. Yeah. They're great separate.
Yeah.
But when they're together,
when they're done well together.
Yes.
Because
there's a few examples.
Cowboys and Aliens was more of like, hey, what if I took peanut butter and jam and then mixed them in a bowl together and made a cake out of it?
Yes. Someone went nuts with that movie. Yes. Yeah. Now, for good reasons, that movie could have worked and they could have loved it. But, they forgot to dial the madness back.
Yeah. Or you know that was Jon Favreau, right? The guy who made Iron Man.
Yeah. I'm like, where did you get hit in the head several times?
Yeah.
Or did you make that entire movie while high and no one could talk you out of it, or you were too ashamed not to make it? Because I've heard of stories of people writing a movie like, oh god, I gotta stick with this, but I really shouldn't. Somebody save me, and everyone else just...
Can you just not put my name on this?
But the thing is, everyone else is just nodding their head because they're afraid to offend you.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much the entire prequel series, I think.
Yep, that sounds right. On that note, you want to move on from Trigun, just talk a little bit of news, maybe answer a little question here?
Sure, sounds fun.
I'm glad we covered Trigun. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was so good to come back to this.
It was.
Not that I needed an excuse to come back to Trigun.
No.
This is one of the ones I rewatch every few years.
Yeah?
If not, my favorite episodes.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's the first time I've rewatched the entire series, start to finish, and the movie. Usually I'll watch the movie and that'll be enough for my favorite few episodes, and that'll be enough, but no. Yeah. So good.
So, recent anime news. The live-action Gundam movie that is being worked on hired a certain writer to... I don't know if he's producing. I believe he's working on the script for this thing. And that is Brian K. Vaughan, comic book writer behind Saga, Paper Girls, Why the Last Man, Runaways.
Yeah, and I know for a fact, I think he's one of Robin's favorite
he's probably my favorite at all. He's fantastic. He does a lot in terms of representation without it being forced.
Good.
A lot of great female characters, a lot of great characters of different racial backgrounds, and it's never it's never the basis of the character.
Yeah. That character just happens to be this or that.
Exactly. Paper Girls, great example. The lead character, I believe, is an Asian American, and I don't know in the 20 plus episodes issues that I've read that it's ever been mentioned. It's like, okay, we'll get to it if it comes up. Sure, Saga is just the fucking best. I've talked about Saga before. Saga's like my favorite fucking comic series, and it is amazing.
I'm now kicking myself because I can't remember the name of my favorite comic book writer.
What's the...
His name starts with James, and he wrote for More Than Meets the Eye for Transformers. He's a British writer.
Okay, not ringing a bell offhand, but I don't.
He's only done work with IDW.
Okay, that's why. Yeah.
And mostly just with Transformers, but he's a very philosophical writer.
Okay.
Which you've kind of known
that
sounds
about right, yep. So, what do you think of this? What do you think of this Gundam live action?
I've looked at his resume before. I'm like, that is a really impressive, rap sheet you've got there, buddy. Yeah. That really puts me in a good mood. Like, that's like, you give it to, like, a good writer like that.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, I think he said that he's a fan of Gundam series.
Well, that helps, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not, like, a huge fan. Like, there's always that, like, you want a fan, but you don't want the mega fan.
Yeah, exactly.
You want the fan who's allowed to, I've always wanted to... Yeah. I've always wanted to see. Yeah. You don't get the one that's like, no, it has to be this exact same thing, recreated to the exact milligram.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine, but...
Yeah. What you want is not so much someone who obsesses over something being so close, and more someone who says, you know what, I'm a fan and I have ideas. I have something to bring to this.
The ones who said, I've always wanted to see this happen, or...
Yeah.
A character like this versus a character like that.
Yes.
Or the ones like, I love this, but it's flawed in places.
Yeah.
Like the fans big enough to admit that whatever they love is not truly flawless, even if they'll jokingly say, oh, this is flawless completely, because nothing is flawless, no matter how much you want to lie to yourself about it. Mm-hmm. And the ones who can't tend to be the worst. Yeah. In both fandoms and writing.
Yeah.
Because I can think of a few examples where movies were ruined by too much by the book.
Yeah.
Not even let the actors fill the role.
Yeah.
Because you've got an idea how this character is supposed to be. No, the actor's job is to bring that character to life as best as they can.
Yes.
Or how they interpret it.
Yep. I think this Gundam movie could work.
Yes, the more I'm looking at it, the more my hopes are getting up, but I'm like, I hope not to be wrong.
See, the problem with a lot of anime bringing them to Hollywood, it's if you whitewash it, you're gonna ruin it.
Yup.
But when they try and do the live action, like I think of a lot of these Netflix ones where it's like the budget isn't quite there because you don't have the names attached to it, and things like that, and it's just, I feel like Gundam is that perfect middle ground of you don't need to adapt any of the anime. You don't need to adapt a story per se. You can come up with a new story in this universe, in this world.
You just really need to nail the idea of Gundam, which is war is hell, but there are reasons for this hell to exist.
Exactly.
So, like I said, I tend to make fun of Miyazaki for his war for hell, but he never tends to also paint the other side of war, which Gundam has done several times.
Yeah.
And is willing to point out that the hypocrisy is a necessary thing.
Yeah.
Like, one of my favorite ones involves ending war with violence.
Yeah.
That's the whole premise of the show.
Yeah.
And the characters keep pointing out that, yes, we are aware there's a contradiction.
Yeah.
The point is the contradiction. So
I feel like the main things you need to nail, the ideology, as you said.
Yeah.
You got to get the Gundams to look right.
Yeah, if they're just CGI monstrosities,
no, they need to look...
fans will lynch you. And it's not that Gundams don't have weird designs, but keep the weird designs for like a sequel.
Yeah.
Go with the standard Gundams. Yeah.
But it's legendary pictures, and I have high hopes because
as much as I didn't care for their story for Godzilla, their Godzilla design really worked for me.
Right.
So they've got a good CGI team.
They do. They have an excellent... They have a history of creating very lifelike, large... CGI beings of some sort. I mean,
at times can feel like they're there.
Yes.
My brain still doesn't often see that.
Yeah.
But that's more, the uncanny
They did a great job with King Kong as well.
I'll take your word for it.
Kong Skull Island. They've really brought Kong to life there. So, that brings me to the question of the episode.
Oh boy, questions.
Which I came up with this week. This is my question. If you could have any creator of any kind of work, be it a director, a writer, whoever, any creator of any work, to work on an anime adaptation.
Well, I already made a joke that I want Jackie Chan to be like the action director for a Trigun movie.
I mean, that could be your choice.
That is a really good... I think that's probably the best one I'm ever going to come up with. Not just because I'm a massive Jackie Chan fan, but because he gets action and funny so well. And he's done several directing jobs, at least from the action side of it.
Yeah.
And stunting side of it.
Yeah.
I mean, stunt directing was always his thing. Like, even movies he starred in, he was the stunt director.
Yeah, yeah.
And that alone sounds really good, but I really think Taika Waititi from Thor Ragnarok, he needs an anime movie.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
I don't even know which one to give him. Like,
yeah.
One of the goofier ones for sure.
Yeah.
Like, maybe him and Jackie Chan should work on Trigun together.
That could work. That could
really work, yeah.
Yeah. Taika Waititi. I'm trying to think now. What's a good one there? JoJo,
yes.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as directed by Taika Waititi. Oh, that would be good. Oh, man.
How many drugs do you need to go in? You don't need any, but you'll leave with them.
Yeah, exactly. I never actually came up with an answer, but I think I have one.
Okay.
I know who I would like to work on it.
Yeah.
This director, Denis Villeneuve.
Never heard of him.
He has done... His most recent work was Blade Runner 2049.
Okay.
He was the director of that movie, and he's directing the upcoming Dune adaptation.
Okay.
He makes these really more subtle movies that aren't action based. Mm-hmm. They're more like visually gorgeous. The effects work, the cinematography is amazing.
Okay.
But they're much more about the philosophy, about the story, about the character development.
Yeah.
And I feel like that pairing could work. What anime? I'm not sure.
The first one that came to my mind when you described that would be an actual good Death Note movie.
That's possible.
Because
he works well in sci-fi, which is where I was thinking of the visuals, because he did another movie called Arrival, which was great.
Oh, okay, I've heard of it. Yeah. Well,
trying to think of a good one here. I mean, I know you're not a fan of the anime, but maybe a Neon Genesis Evangelion movie maybe could be an improvement on the anime.
Probably. I mean,
you know. That's just what comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
I feel like there are probably some more good ones.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of off the top of my head.
No.
But yeah, I thought that was a fun little topic to dive into. I'm hoping to do more of that. Like,
yeah.
If you're gonna be trying to adapt anime into these live action Hollywood films, get someone good behind it.
Yeah. Get someone who always brings passion to their work.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just, your studio's third most successful director, because they may not have any passion to it.
Oh, I've got it. Denis Villeneuve making an Akira movie.
You have a very easy way of bringing Akira up almost every podcast. And I don't argue with you.
Yeah, there's good reason for that. I love Akira. I really do.
Yeah.
And to segue into our next episode, I'll tell you another good one. What about Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool, making an adaptation of One Punch Man?
I'd watch. For some reason, I just thought of Del Toro doing Overlord.
Oh, yeah, that would work too. Yeah.
Because that's really up his alley.
Oh, Del Toro doing Death Note. That's the one.
Yes, yeah, there we go.
There you go.
There we go. Give him that.
Yeah. Well, honestly, at this point, just let Del Toro make whatever the fuck he wants to make, because he's fantastic.
He is. Although, right now, he's still working on Death Stranding with you.
Yeah.
Which I am still curious of what that's going to be.
No idea. Not a clue.
All I know is after I play it, I'm pretty sure I'm going to walk away and just stare into the sunset for a while.
You might play through that game and still not know what it was.
Considering parts of Metal Gear still does that to me, yes.
Yeah. So the next episode that we're recording literally in the next couple minutes, and it should be up right now alongside this episode, we're going to dive into the world of One Punch Man. I'm so excited for this one. This might be one of my favorite anime that we've covered on an episode yet.
This one is slightly behind Trigun. Just slightly.
It's miles ahead for me personally, but...
That's totally fine. It's so good, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
So, before we do that, I guess let's go munch on some donuts.
Yeah, sure. Before some typhoon takes them from us.
Yeah, sounds good. Later.
This has been a Jedi Dropouts production.